All right, everybody, we want to welcome Broshmo to the show. For those of you who aren't familiar, he's a popular YouTuber for the NFL, just covering all kinds of football moves, things like that. Bobby and I are big fans of the show, big fans of his channel. For those of you who haven't followed him already, give him a follow. He breaks down everything in a very interesting way, makes it easy to understand for those who kind of struggle with the nuances of football. So we want to welcome you to the show, man. Thanks for joining us. We're honored to have you here, and we're just excited to talk some football with you.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing, especially this week. It's been a huge week for football, so great to get your insight on some things.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm literally that NFL draft for idiots type of book.
I appreciate the tier lists. Honestly, I love those tier lists. I think they're like perfect breakdown, and I probably some of my favorite content, no doubt.
Yeah. I don't try to ever talk over anybody because I feel like a lot of like it could be fun for a lot of people to like go into the football knees for like versions of things. I think like stuff like the Draft Network sometimes could get really bad at it. It's like, I mean, you're gonna have people cope but look at these terms, these terminologies. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
it's an easier way to say he go fast real quick. He go boom boom.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I love about it. The tier, like I said, the tier lists breaks it down perfectly for like way everyone can understand it. But Bobby kind of hinted on it. NFL free agency. I feel like this has been a way more active free agency than years past.
It has it's been spicy. We got that quarterback carousel that we thought wasn't going to come after Aaron decided to stay.
Yes, the ball. I swear that Aaron Rodgers deal happened, and I feel like teams panicked. Just said we needed to address the quarterback any possible way.
Yeah, because then you got Carson Wentz, Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan was a huge one yesterday. It's been insane for QB.
Yeah, and then you still got Baker and Jimmy G out there too.
Yeah, I got my thoughts on Baker Mayfield. I'm a big fan of Baker.
Okay, I was gonna say, I feel like he got done so dirty.
He got done really dirty.
He got poor treatment from the Browns, but you know the Browns is the Browns, right?
Yeah, it's like he found out his girl wanted to cheat on him, called her out on it, and then she did.
And everyone's upset with him for being upset. That's the thing. Like, oh my gosh. But the Matt Ryan move, I don't think I was ever going to see the day Matt Ryan wasn't in Atlanta. That's just my personal take on it. Just a shock
for him.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. You think it was due to them trying to go for Deshaun Watson, or?
No, I think they kind of understand they're in a rebuild. Like, what do they offer Matt? Really nothing. I mean, because they're still going to eat his dead money. So I kind of feel like they're just kind of ripping the Band-Aid on this rebuild. And if anything, it's, hey, Matt, you're near the end of the line, man. Go try to win. We're not going to do it here.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one.
And for the Colts, they get a very great QB. So I think the Colts won out definitely for a third round pick.
Yeah. And again, they don't get any of the dead cap. So it's like, I mean, this is probably the best quarterback they've had since Luck. Really, Phillip Rivers was at the end of his rope during his tenure. Well, I guess year in Indy, but still he was a good, I guess you could say game manager. But
yeah, I mean 11-5 with them. So
yeah, I mean look at how good they were with Carson Wentz, and then he wet the bed at the end of the year.
Yeah,
so
they were just done.
Yeah, so I mean they really just needed some guy to come back and like just play the quarterback position well and. Not put the ball in harm's way. And
right. And I agree. Matt Ryan, he's the guy for that decision, for that kind of like use at the quarterback position. Upgrade from Phillip Rivers. I mean, Colts, why even buy a quarterback jersey at this point? What are we on? Like the 5th straight quarterback change since Luck? But this is a big one because I think Matt Ryan still has a good like 3 or 4 years in him before you start to see the decline.
Yeah, especially in that offense, like where you're not going to have to lean on him as much necessarily.
Right, with the Jonathan Taylor breakout year. Really, honestly, this elevated the Colts, I'd say, to such a high level now. The expectations have just skyrocketed for them going into this season.
Yeah, if anything, I'm kind of curious how the defense will look next year under Gus Bradley. now that Eberflus is coaching in, Chicago.
Bear down.
Yeah, I think that actually might be like the bigger thing is how does this defense look? Will it regress? I mean, fortunately, they play in the AFC South, so it's like,
Oh, right. It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
So they do benefit from being in arguably the weakest division in football. Hopefully, though, the defense,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, you forgot about the NFC East there.
What do you mean, dude? Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, man.
The Commanders, come on.
Oh yeah, throw your comrags in the air.
Yeah, like they really did not think about that name at all.
I'd like to believe that they knew exactly what they were doing, and they were just in on it.
They're just one big troll of a franchise.
Yeah.
At this point. I mean, the Carson Wentz move goes right along with it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I feel like that was just desperation, though.
I don't know. It's such a Washington football team move.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna call them the football team for now.
I mean, yeah, they should be the Red Hawks, but like I feel like that might be more of an indictment on like what they think this quarterback class is, because I really think it might end up just being Malik Willis, and then what,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malik Willis has kind of had a meteoric rise, at least from my perspective, on all the draft boards and everything. But outside of him, you got Two Glove Pickett, small hands Kenny over there. Is he the guy? I don't know.
Man. I used to get so much hate in my comment section just because of the hands thing, because like it'd be unprecedented in the NFL modern era for a guy with his hand size to start in the NFL. Like the only other guy to do it with sub 9-inch hands is Michael Vick. And I'm sorry, Kenny Pickett. That fake slide was sick, but you're no Michael Vick.
Yeah, no, you're not him. That's right. You're not him. Hey, he wears the gloves. The gloves help, right? How can you fight with those gloves?
I honestly don't know. Like, it's just like it's so unnatural to try and throw the ball with gloves. It just surprises me that like him and Teddy Bridgewater are able to do it. Those are the only two I know.
Yeah, he's been doing it for years, so he's used to it.
It does give some zip, I'll say that. Like when I played, my flag football days a couple of years ago, throwing the ball with gloves, it had some zip. I'm gonna leave it at that. So it compensates for the small hands.
I couldn't tell you, man. Never played quarterback, and I got probably like 6.5-inch hands, so I shouldn't even be joking about this.
His hands are still bigger than mine. And I was a wide receiver, so didn't throw the ball often, but.
So even after the 2 pro days with Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis today, you would still stick with Malik Willis being your number 1 on the draft board?
Yeah, just pure upside. Like he's kind of been there the whole way for me. Just you kind of know what he is. The arm talent. Like this is a guy that can make all throws. Where he really needs to work on is working inside a structure. Like Liberty, he didn't really get that liberty because the offense was just so bad around him. Like I think one of the big games that I turned on was like Ole Miss. Like I actually watched it live, then I went back and watched it later, where like Sam Williams was just getting in his grill almost every play. It's like he was not afforded the luxury of working inside a structure. So that's something we just don't know what it looks like when he's in a clean pocket. The decision making obviously needs to get better. Like, yeah, he's far from, a finished prospect, but like that's kind of this class though. Like
these are some projects for sure coming into this draft.
Yeah, like even Sam Howell, and I'm like a huge Sam Howell fan. So
yeah, I watched his Elite 11 back when he was going to UNC, and I had huge expectations for him, and it just you never really seen like a huge jump.
I mean, I feel like coming into like after his sophomore season, like everyone thought he was a top 10 pick, like because the arm talent's there, and it's just he lost so much talent on that UNC offense, and Javonte Williams, Michael Carter, De'Ami Brown, Daz Newsome. It really took like Josh Downs to like emerge for him. And even then, the offensive line was pedestrian. Like the poor guy literally had to put the offense on his back, and the defense wasn't even helping this past year either. So like, I don't know. I think it was kind of a good thing for him, but obviously it's gonna hurt. It hurts the stock. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Hard pressed finding really anyone to agree that if he's a first rounder or not. So
yeah, and that's the price you pay when you go to the, UNC. It's a basketball school. The football program's kind of on the back burner over there. So that's kind of the price you pay with that. But it's also an opportunity to kind of set yourself up even better. We saw. Dare I mention him, Mitch Trubisky?
I knew you were gonna go right there.
Hey, he had a good 1 year starting at UNC. Yeah. I don't think Mitch, if he goes back for a second year, has the same success. He probably doesn't go number 2 overall if he returns to college another year. But because you played at a program that's not as competitive with the rest of the ACC, with other ACC schools, it looks that much better on paper.
No. Well, we'll see what Mitch looks like in Pittsburgh.
Hey, a 2-year, $14 million deal.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, like, because there was a lot of buzz apparently at the combine about Mitch Trubisky, and like teams wanting like to bring him on, thinking like he didn't really get a fair shake with the Bears, and that, like, I guess apparently over a season maybe he's matured. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm a believer in that. I think, I will say Mitch is limited as a quarterback. I don't think he's ever making that elite MVP jump or anything. But I do think he suffered a little bit playing under Matt Nagy in his system. Just from my perspective as a Bears fan, watching everything closely here, Nagy was always a guy like you needed to be ready for his system day one or you weren't his guy. So I don't think Mitch ever got a fair shake in that sense, but I also don't think he's like your franchise quarterback. So maybe the year off, playing in a different system, different coaching style, learning from Josh Allen. Hopefully that sets him up to be a good fit over there. I think he'll do well in Pittsburgh, though.
Yeah, he's got a lot of talent around him. I think he'll do well.
Yeah, it's a good, stable franchise. Shore up that offensive line. Who knows? Dare I say, playoff team?
I don't know. The AFC's looking pretty scary nowadays.
Yeah, especially with Deshaun Watson going to the Browns. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know.
They might be the last place in that division.
Yeah, it's gonna be golly, dude. That'll be
a tough one, no doubt. But
yeah,
I'm a Mitch fan. I'm gonna root for him no matter what. That's just me. I defend the guy. I was like that with Cutler, so I always will. I'll find a way to defend him.
Man. Being a Dolphins fan, I don't have fond memories of Jay Cutler. So.
Oh yeah, that was a bad season with Adam Gase.
Golly, yeah. Talk about the QB whisperer, huh?
Yeah, what was his comment? The big thing Cutler said, luckily you don't need to be in great cardiovascular shape to be a quarterback. But hey, you guys got to tank for Tua. That's, something.
I guess we'll see this year.
Never mind Herbert over there in LA, but I digress.
Oh man, I know.
Yeah, that must be a tough pill to swallow.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I don't know. I remember doing, like, I think that was my first year of like really going in on the NFL draft on YouTube. So like, I remember like all like the Justin Herbert complaints was like, this guy has all the arm talent, just never really saw it in Oregon's offense. Cause during that time they were real just dink and dime screen type of team. They didn't really allow him to just sling the ball.
Yeah. It was
so
very much an East-West offense over there.
Yeah, exactly.
But he had a great combine. I was high on Justin Herbert. I know another thing people talked about with him was his like leadership ability, but I think he's doing just fine in LA. But I still think Tua deserves a chance.
Definitely.
I just give up on him yet.
I'm just kind of curious because you could tell, the arm's limited.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't have like that zip.
Right.
So, but I mean, Mike McDaniel was the right coach. He was like the first guy I wanted. Like the minute we had to start having coaching
coaching tree. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that we pulled in Armstead, because I was really legit, like that San Francisco team's built on their offensive line, getting the ball into their playmakers' hands quick and letting them make moves. So I'm happy that we got Armstead. I guess Connor Williams is fine.
Hey, Jalen Waddle had a great rookie year. I'm a pretty high on Mike Gesicki at tight end. Could you guys improve at the running back position? I'd say a little bit, but
yeah, but I mean, Mike McDaniel's never been a guy that he gets by on day 3 and journeyman, and they brought in Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, I was about to say, you look at the history of the running back position in San Francisco since Kyle Shanahan took over. I swear it's a different guy every week until Deebo Samuel this year. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, even this past year, everyone thought Trey Sermon was gonna be the guy, and it was actually the Elijah Mitchell, the guy drafted after him, who ended up seeing more time. So
yeah, so I think McDaniel's a perfect coach over there for Tua. He could take pressure off of him. He doesn't have to be the elite arm talent quarterback. Hey, Jimmy G got to a Super Bowl in a similar offense. So Tua's got talent. I think he'll succeed with Mike McDaniel. If not,
I really hope Jimmy G's not his ceiling.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I just mean I'd say they're on the same level now. Tua has more upside, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good situation. We just need to find the playmakers at receiver. Brought in Cedric Wilson. That'll be interesting to see what he can do in a full-time role. I always liked him there being like the wide receiver 4 for the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Part of me really hopes of maybe having trading up for like a Treylon Burks. See what Mike McDaniel would do with a guy like that in his offense. So
yeah,
there is that in the back of my head.
Yeah, I'm big on Treylon Burks. He's one of my favorite receivers in this draft class.
Yeah, it's just a shame that dude, he just got overblown. The expectations got too lofty at the combine for him. People just started throwing out DK comps, Chase Claypool comps. Oh, he's Deebo Samuel. And it was like those were never fair, because I never thought he was like super explosive off the line, and more of his speed was like long field, So he still came in fast for his size. Like, he's still going to be a mismatch nightmare, and I think you could use him in a lot of fun, interesting ways. It's just, yeah, man, the expectation was just, I think
those comparisons when they start throwing those names out, it's just like,
that's why I hate comps so much. People take it too literally.
I know they really do, though. It's, you got to give these guys a chance to kind of develop. When you're throwing out expectations, like DK's comparison was Megatron, right? I don't think that's fair. DK's phenomenal, I will say, but still, in a rookie year, or not even a rookie yet, to throw out those kinds of names, like, what are you doing to these guys? It's just not cool. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's why I always try to steer away from comps. But
funny enough, I was actually going to ask for your comp for Malik Willis. So
I could tell you the best one I've seen was Mike Renner, Cordell, or was it Cordell Stewart, the old Steelers QB, and I was like, golly, I remember watching him as a kid, dude.
Yeah,
I really think that's a good one. I really do. And I know a lot of people will be like, what did he ever do in Pittsburgh? And it's like, I mean, he was a successful quarterback. And to be fair, it's like, I don't know. Again, they take him too literally. They look at the success of the player that they're comparing him to. And it's like, it's just more so like what their playing styles like, with Sam Howell. I think he throws the ball like Russell Wilson. If I were to say that, people immediately, you think he's Russell Wilson? Absolutely not.
That's not the case. But that's how they take them. They take it all way too literally. But okay, so we mentioned Baker. I'm a Baker guy. I did want to talk about Baker Mayfield a little bit. We have a running joke on the show. Baker was injured last year. Year.
Every time you bring up a criticism, that's Mills' go-to. He was injured.
He was injured, though. Let's be fair to the man. He was injured. So, we all know the Browns traded for Deshaun, gave up the farm for him. What is it, 5-year, $230 million contract, right?
Something real ridiculous.
Like, fully guaranteed.
It is fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to say that and be wrong, but
with giving up 3 first-round draft picks, I believe a second. They give up everything to get him.
Yeah, basically the Browns aren't drafting for the next couple of years, but so now it's just Baker's just in no man's land. You thought the Colts, and then Matt Ryan goes to the Colts. So where's like the fit for Baker? That's the question now, because apparently he's this like undesirable, untouchable quarterback, and I don't understand what the deal is. Is it Baker himself, or is it the 5th-year option that you have to take on? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, because like if you look at it, like, man, you got to assume he's going to be in a backup role wherever he goes. Like, already like the Panthers, they've already said like they're not looking at one another. Seattle, but like Seattle, it's like they know they're in a rebuild, so it's like, why take on that contract? Like, why? Like, I don't know, but like, it's really hard. It's really hard to kind of like
it's a tough one to call.
Figure
Houston,
out.
But they had what's his name?
I think they'd rather go Davis Mills. Yeah. I mean, because they're kind of in the same predicament where it's like we're in the big middle of rebuild and we're gonna try to figure out if this is our guy for next year's draft. Then again, you could do that with Baker. Just keep him on the 5th-year option and not extend him or anything. But I don't know, man. I really don't. I think San Fran could be maybe an interesting spot if they feel Trey Lance isn't ready to go, but I don't think that'll be the case.
No.
So
I don't know. I feel like they'd rather roll out Trey Lance, even though I don't think Trey Lance is going to be a very great quarterback in the NFL.
Really?
I'm not high on him. I'm really not. My nickname for him has been Trey Bisky since draft day. So it's hard to pinpoint it. It's just like a gut thing with me. He doesn't wow me. He's got a big arm. I don't trust those FCS quarterbacks. That's just kind of my, if I have to sum it up in one thing, it's the FCS thing. Very limited time as a starter at the college level. He couldn't take over Jimmy Garoppolo with an injured shoulder and everything. So,
yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to him. I think there's enough there, like in terms of the arm, and he's got obviously the running upside's pretty huge with him. That I think he's in the right environment that you won't ask too much from him.
Oh, and he's got. I mean, I will say he's got the perfect coach to be the guy kind of grooming him, right? Kyle Shanahan's got a great track record when it comes to quarterbacks and just offensive play in general. So he's got the opportunity. The sky could be the limit. I just don't think he's going to touch it. But hey, I could be wrong. I'll always eat my words when I'm wrong. I have no issue with. Hey, prove me wrong. I like it. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Except for when we're talking about Ryan Poles, then I want to be right.
Yeah. When it comes to Baker, though, man, yeah, like your guess is as good as mine in terms of a landing spot.
Yeah.
Really think that's.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, it really feels like they're not going to get a lot back for him. Like it really felt like the Colts may have been the only option, and they're out here.
Yeah.
Throwing a third for Matt Ryan. So.
Right. I thought for sure he was going to end up on the Colts because, like I said, I didn't think Matt Ryan was going to leave Atlanta, but I get why. Like you said earlier, it makes sense to just to do it. Let him go chase his ring, rebuild, work on your rebuild over there. It's just funny, Ryan Pace goes to Atlanta and instantly the quarterback room's blown up.
Yeah.
Poor Baker. That's all I'll say. And he was injured. Poor Baker. He was injured last year. Give him a chance.
But yeah, then you think maybe the Falcons would be interested, but then they immediately went and got Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about Mariota's signing. Yeah. That'll be interesting.
And then Jameis returns to Saints, so it's like
all these teams that you thought they went elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, what do you do now?
Even the landing spot for Jimmy G is kind of questionable.
Yeah, he's in the same boat, and he's got an even bigger contract you got to take on. So Weird. Not a lot of teams in dire need of quarterbacks,
or at least they're ready to win now.
Exactly. We mentioned the Texans. If I'm over there in Houston, I'd prefer to go with Davis Mills, right?
Yeah.
Give him a chance. See what you got in him. Build around him if you can, if he performs well enough. But otherwise, like, you're not taking on Baker's 5th-year option.
Yeah. It's like, what can you do about it?
Yeah.
No, I know. I just feel bad for Baker. That's my thing, is I feel bad for the guy. Dude played his heart and soul out for Cleveland, and they just say, "Hey, Deshaun, you're not getting indicted. Come over here." So, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's like
Insane.
that's a can of worms right there.
No, I
Yeah.
we're not opening it. We're not opening it. I promise. I'm just pointing out, like, Deshaun is gonna return. Baker, you're not our guy anymore. Goodbye. That's basically that. So,
Not even goodbye. Just
yeah,
just sit there. Like,
yeah. Don't show up. Show up. We don't care.
I don't know. It just feels like he's gonna end up being on the roster.
Yeah, I don't see how he isn't at this point. Because you have to trade for him. You have to eat 19 mil in salary. Oh gosh.
And like the worst thing of it is, like, he's like the first quarterback in so long in Cleveland that actually has done good things for that town. And
I know, he
like,
lives in the stadium.
oh yeah.
He's putting on a yard sale now.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't think we'll see as many commercials with him. That's for sure. No.
So with how active this free agency has been, which for me, it's been one of the most active free agencies. What's like one of your teams that has been like the most improved throughout this free agency?
I mean, obviously you could say Denver, just with the quarterback move, Russell Wilson, immediately, like, everyone was talking about this team just it was a quarterback away. They have great weapons. Their offensive line's pretty darn good. So I mean, I think that's an easy one to make. I think the Jets have made some good moves. I like the Lincoln Tomlinson pickup and the DJ Reed pickup. Both guys that used to play for Saleh, coming back to something they're familiar to. It's not gonna be like that big of a difference in what they were playing. DJ Reed playing, I think it was back in, not last year, but the year before, 2020, playing with the Niners, and then obviously Tomlinson just last year. So I thought those were two really, really good pickups. Like going through team by team, like stuff that I think the Steelers have made some decent moves. With like, I mean, I actually like the James Daniels move.
Yeah,
that's stuck for us. I hate it, but also, good for them. So, corn.
Yeah, I mean, and then Miles Jack they got for pretty cheap, just to come in there play, because I mean, it feels like they're kind of out on Devin Bush at this point. So, I thought that was nice.
A team that comes to mind for me, Vegas.
Oh yeah, I guess obvious. Yeah. Like they, to be fair, they did that. Like, all right, it's been about 2 days already. I guess we should make some moves.
Yeah.
So
that was.
Yeah, the Devontae Adams move was big, and it's like you gotta, like, I don't know. It feels like they make these moves, but like, are they anything more than like what maybe like the fourth best team in that division still?
Oh yeah,
it's like.
I know that division's going to be a different animal. Like, if the Chargers can take the next step up with Brandon Staley, you got to assume Derek Carr is going to elevate his game because of Devontae is going to help elevate Derek Carr's game, I should say. Obviously Denver gets Russell, so I mean we can
still winners. I mean, the thing, it's just the Raiders is not upgrading the offensive line. Like, it's just such a big thing. I think, like, how much does Devontae how much does he really give you if you're going to be, if Derek Carr is like only afforded maybe like a 3-step drop back, you know?
Yeah.
So
but maybe, I don't know. That division, it's going to be insane.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. Like even the Chargers, I mean, Khalil Mack, JC Jackson, what they went out and got,
What's the other
oh my gosh, what was it? Joseph Day, the Sebastian Joseph Day, the former Rams interior lineman used to play play under Staley. So grabbed him, like,
you know, every other team went
keeping Mike Williams too. That was huge.
And it looks like for a banger deal at this point after like, I mean, I guess the Jags, they made moves.
I don't know if Christian Kirk is worth what they paid him.
They did sign people to contracts. They did.
Yeah. I think they could get out early on a few of those contracts if they don't like how they're performing. I think Loakun and Christian Kirk's deals are like that. Not positive, but I don't know. I guess that makes it better.
I mean, I can't believe that they paid him that much. Like,
that was an overpay. I thought for sure, like after that contract came out, Juju was going to go sign some massive contract.
No, he wants to go do TikToks with Jackson Mahomes.
Oh my gosh.
They're going to collab now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's not allowed to game.
He's not allowed to game.
Yeah, but even the Chiefs, Justin Reed, I thought was a great move. I like that. Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of good moves out there. The Ravens, I'm like getting Morgan Moses to shore up that right tackle position, I thought was real good. And Marcus Williams has been one of my favorites, like players in the league since entering. Like, obviously, you know, everything post Miracle in Minneapolis has been great for him. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. He missed the tackle, right?
Oh
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Took out his player.
He was the flail. Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, he's honestly been, I think, one of the best safeties in the league since entering it. So like, I thought that was a good pickup for a Ravens team that really, really like loves like 3 safety sets. So like that pickup.
A lot of teams have been active. Like we said, it's been probably the most active free agency that in my recent memory, I would say. The move that kind of shocked me the most, though, is I did not think Von Miller was going to find his way in Buffalo. I just didn't see it coming. I don't know. Great signing, good for Buffalo. It just kind of was the shock to me. It was kind of, I didn't think Buffalo was really in the running.
Yeah, I mean, they threw a lot of money at him, so.
Yeah, so.
But I mean, like, there's no way like he's playing 6 years. I mean, they just kind of like spread the dead cap over that time.
Yeah, because
so
he's 34 now, right?
32.
Oh, he's only 30. Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Feels like he's been in the league forever.
Yeah, seriously. So he's the same age as Mac.
Yeah, but I mean, even if he plays just like 2 or 3 years on that contract, like that does so much for that team. And they were pretty active as well, bringing Roger Saffold.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they just brought in Jamison Crowder today, I think. So
yeah, they're not letting that happen. They're not having another loss like that in the playoffs.
God,
they said that again.
That was so heart-wrenching. And I'm a Dolphins fan, and I was like, golly, dude, I feel bad for them.
Man. 13 seconds. Oh my! That was a disappointing but exciting game. You know?
Yeah, that was the best game of the whole offseason or the whole postseason.
That may have been like the best week of football ever.
Yeah,
it was wild.
Yeah.
And then after that, to have the Bengals just beat the Chiefs, that was just amazing too.
I really wanted that bad. I'm a big. I love Joe Burrow.
Who doesn't? Honestly, I don't trust anyone who doesn't like him. He's got the swag. I swear, he's just got that it factor. You know.
He's got the offensive line. That's another team that had a pretty good free agency. Getting Leo Collins, Ted Karras, and Alex Kappa, all solids. Very good pickups for the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean that old line. You got to figure the Bengals will probably stick around for a while now in the top of the AFC if that O-line performs.
They got the receiving threats too.
Oh.
I mean, you ain't gonna really hear too much of that. Oh, they should have won Penei Sewell over Jamar Chase.
No, that's gonna end very soon if it hasn't already.
Yeah, I was a big advocate for them going and getting Jamar Chase, and he hated on me for it.
No, Nick did. Nick did. I said there wasn't the wrong decision to make there.
Yeah, Nick, I agree with that as well. Like,
yeah, you couldn't go wrong either way. So I mean, obviously, it worked out.
Yeah, I just felt Joe was like, "Hey, bring my buddy into town, man."
pretty much. I feel like obviously they consult him on that. You're going to. It's his number one guy from college, his record-setting year. How do you not go after him? Bring him in. He's right there. Falls in your lap.
And look, you were a few non-bad calls away from winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Some questionable holding and pass interference calls, but what do I know?
I mean, if you're not going to blow a whistle all game, why not wait till the last 2 minutes?
Yeah, right. It's only the most important drive of the game. So,
gosh,
refs all year.
Yeah, they've been real bad.
Yeah, I always try to give I will always want to give the benefit of the doubt, to I get it, human error, but yeah, it's been particularly bad this year. I think for me, the big opening, eye-opening game was, I think it was Raiders Cowboys. I think it was the most penalized game in NFL history.
There was 26 flags or something.
Was that Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I think it was the Thanksgiving game.
Yes. Maybe. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember that now. It was ridiculous. It was they were crucial flags too.
Yeah.
It's just, oh my God. And then, I'm going to Bears fan, Bears Steelers game, that Monday night game. Still upsets me. I was going to say it. It was not a taunting penalty, but whatever.
That was such a weird call too.
So bizarre. What was it? 3rd and 12 and he stacks him and they're nope. Big Ben's not losing this way.
I really felt that way.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like those flags get thrown as makeup calls and they're the worst. It's the worst thing ever.
Oh man. Especially in the Super Bowl after they missed that, was that the T Higgins, pass interference on the touchdown.
They did miss it. Yeah. So, and you decide the makeup call is the most crucial drive of the game.
I know, right?
The one on what was it, Apple in the end zone? That one I could understand it a little bit, but was it Luke Wilson, the one before that?
Yeah, or Logan Wilson, the linebacker.
Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry. What? I was speechless at that one. I just couldn't believe it. I was dumbfounded.
Yeah.
But hey, human error. It's part of the game, right? At least you can't challenge those penalties. That was the worst. That 1 year of challenging pass interference.
Yeah, let's just make the game exceptionally long.
Yeah. It was reaching baseball levels of long.
And it's just wild. It doesn't feel like it's a problem in college,
No, I honestly, no, you're right. I feel like refs do a pretty good job in college. There's not as much controversy. Something about when you get to the NFL, I feel like refs get a little power.
Maybe it's just the bigger stage. I don't know.
Who knows? I know the rules can be a little tough to interpret, so I try to give them the benefit of that. But still, some calls, it's just you can't throw the flag in those situations.
Yeah, you would think at the end of the game too, if you're gonna hold your tongue on it, hold your flag on anything to be the end of the game. Let them play.
Right. If you're letting them play, it's the end of the game. It's not the time to start getting loose with the flags. But hey, it's in the past now. Not much we can do about it at this point.
Yeah, the Dolphins. It didn't affect the Dolphins whatsoever.
Right. The Dolphins weren't there. Bears weren't there. So I guess.
At least at least Justin Fields. At least he's got a bright future. I'm still wondering about Tua.
So you're high on Fields then?
I always been high on Fields. I think he was my. I don't know if I kept him at. I think I kept him at quarterback too the whole way through. I'm not positive. But
I always had him pegged at that rank too. Honestly, any year other than the Trevor Lawrence year, we're talking about him for possibly first overall pick.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, he was the guy who got every year someone gets picked apart in that pre-draft process. and I guess Justin was the guy for that year.
I don't get it. Like, I think the biggest complaint coming out that time was, well, he holds on onto the ball too long. It's too conservative with the football. And it's like, I go back and I watch like Kenny Pickett, right? Who literally, I think he was second in the nation in time held like with the ball. So it's like, why aren't we hearing these complaints about Kenny Pickett? You know, this perfect prospect that just happens to have very small hands. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of
I
mind
get it,
blowing.
And he's like everyone's first quarterback off the draft board, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it's weird when you do a mock draft, like predictive. It's so hard because it's like I have a second round grade on Kenny Pickett. You know, and it's like, where do I think this guy's going? I don't know, man. This quarterback class is funky.
People are upset about that.
Oh yeah, and I don't blame him. I would hate it
coming out.
But yeah, we're have you ever seen QB1?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have.
But Justin Fields was in one season of it, and ever since then, I've just been a huge fan of him. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna bring up Spencer Rattler and his
unfortunate
and
I'm still wondering to this day what he did.
Look it up.
I
be like, man, he's a douche.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know the Spencer.
It's just him like very arrogant and then kind of just berating his teammates, and it's just like it's real ugly.
That doesn't shock me.
I know, especially based off this season. It's sucks. The kid's got a lot of talent, man.
Yeah.
But I just remember Bobby showed me QB1, the first episode with Spencer Rattler. And I'm like, dude, this kid, man, you could tell he had that attitude to him.
Yeah, I'm hoping the move to South Carolina, because Beamer's at least his dad was a really good coach, and it seems like he's done a good job there at South Carolina to kind of really turn that team around. So maybe it's the right coach, the right move. We'll see next year, I guess.
Yeah, he was OC for Oklahoma, right?
Yep, and then Caleb Williams ended up taking a starting spot, and now Caleb Williams moved with Lincoln Riley to USC.
Yep.
So
Trojans, right, Bob?
Yep. I'm a big USC guy.
Are you? I'm a Hurricanes fan, so it's like I'm used to being mediocre and bad.
Go Dogs. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Hey, I've been a Georgia fan for a long time, so I'm not a fair weather. I promise. I promise. I watched him back in the Aaron Murray days. That was really when I started comprehending football better. So
yeah, I think the Hurricanes last time they were good was like 2003, back when I was like barely in elementary school. So
whenever the Rock played, you know.
It wasn't that long, but
hey, they had Devin Hester.
Yeah,
they had a good player once.
Come on, Bob, what is that?
But they just got Mario Cristobal.
They did. I don't know how to feel about that. I wasn't wild about him in Oregon, and to be fair, I would have loved to got Oregon ended up getting the DC from the Bulldogs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I would have loved that for the Hurricanes. Like, Cristobal is going to be interesting, but I don't think there's really anything, I don't know, like spectacular about his offense. I really feel like it's, again, I mean, like it was with Justin Herbert, man. It's real, just screen heavy, get the ball into your playmakers' hands, let them make moves, and like. I think we actually might have something with this Tyler Van Dyke kid. So hopefully that doesn't ruin it.
I'm too familiar with the Hurricanes football program. I'm not going to lie to you.
I like a good beat in sometimes, so I watch a Hurricanes game.
Fair enough. Some humbling experiences.
Yeah. I watched their opener against Alabama. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
it sucked. Anyone against Alabama except Georgia. Not a great performance
in the national championship.
Yeah,
the second time. Emphasis on the second time.
Yeah. Oh, what they're down both their star receivers. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was huge.
Hey, come on, guys. Championship's a championship. That's all I'm saying. It was Stetson Bennett. Come on, let's chill out.
Literally the performance of a lifetime.
Yeah, he literally like showed out in that national championship.
Yeah, I honestly like JT Daniels was like talked about as a legit draft prospect. I don't know how that's gonna look on your resume that you were ran out of town by Stetson Bennett.
I mean, who was it first? It was Slavis over at USC, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yep.
right. He was
He left
kicked out of the
USC.
curb. No.
Yeah, I mean, so it happened to him twice.
Oh, that's just a
man.
bad look for him.
And the second time was a walk-on, which is a little bit more tough to
Yeah.
swallow.
And he
Poor
was
guy.
like a huge recruit like to USC. I think he left high school early to even go there.
Yeah, like he's not been bad, when on the field. It's just, I guess, injuries, man.
Yeah.
Injuries, man. That'll do it to you. He got the Jacob Eason treatment, honestly.
Oh,
That's a name drop.
yeah, that is a name drop. He's not even on the Colts anymore, is he? I think he's with the Seahawks.
I don't know where he's at. I know it's Sam Ellinger is the backup there now. So
Yeah, that.
which I was a fan of him in college, but obviously,
Yeah, he's a good college quarterback.
Yeah, Texas seems to be good at that stuff. Good college quarterbacks.
Oh, now they got Ewers, so
yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to see.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to hear college football. I'm actually really excited for college this year. So
Yeah.
not that I'm not normally, but
I'm an NFL guy, so I get more hyped for the NFL always, but college, when it's after you get past the cupcake games, it's actually a lot more. I think it's not a lot more entertaining, but when you can kind of dive into the prospects and look at it from that perspective, that's when I really get into college football.
I just love the atmosphere, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is something. College football, college basketball, completely different. It's just way more electric.
Most definitely.
But okay. Do you mind if we talk about the Bears? This is probably the longest we've gone on the show without like diving in on the Bears.
Yeah, we can talk about the Bears.
Okay, so
We talked about Justin Fields a little bit, so why not?
yeah, and Mitch Trubisky, poor guy. But personally, I have not been a fan of Ryan Poles' first offseason here in Chicago. So I kind of wanted to hear your thoughts. How do you kind of grade his decision making so far?
What decision making? It's like what their biggest pickup right now. Was it Lucas Patrick? Is that his name? The former Green Bay.
Yeah.
The lineman.
Yeah, which he's pretty good. He's got actually some versatility to him to really play any spot on the offensive line. I didn't like the Larry Ogunjobi pickup, which I'm obviously got.
Yeah, I'm glad that fell through.
Yeah, I thought that was so pricey, and like looking at like what was it, Bilal Nichols?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he went to the Raiders, right, or something?
Yep.
Yeah, just 2 years, 11 million. Like you had that guy in house, and I would say he's comparable to Ogunjobi.
Same position. He could play the 3 tech.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like
he let everyone walk. He pretty much said, anyone who was here when Ryan Pace was here, you're gone.
Ta-ta, goodbye.
Goodbye. We're going to do our own thing.
And Mills loves Pat O'Donnell, and he was heartbroken to see him go.
More than heartbroken.
Like it crushed him.
It's so petty. You did the punter, really? We're going to go and redo our punting room for what? For me, it was a needless decision. We decided we don't want Pat O'Donnell. For what reason other than what is he going to get, $2 million on his contract? Is that really what we're gonna nickel and dime our punter now?
Yeah, and here I'm actually who have y'all brought it? Didn't y'all bring in a receiver recently?
Byron Pringle
and Equinemius St. Brown.
Yeah, St. Brown. That's the one I saw. Pringle's kind of interesting.
I like both of those moves. I mean, they're low value guys, but St. Brown's what 6'4", 6'5". He runs a 4.4 40. So there's some speed and everything on the field. I thought Byron Pringle did a good job as what'd you call him, the number 3-ish in Kansas City.
Yeah, 3-4-ish. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. They kind of like bounced around between him and Demarcus Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, he's not coming in to be your number 2, but he brings experience. He's a shifty little guy. I think those are 2 good pickups, but I was hoping for at least one like big move. And so far the only big moves have been letting guys walk or trading them away. So
yeah, definitely. And I mean, especially for a team you're trying to like put like at least put talent around your quarterback, and you just really haven't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that was my thing. If this is a rebuild year and you want to kind of use this year to retool, build up some resources, at least prioritize Justin Fields' development. You let your best O-lineman walk in free agency for a contract that I think you could have signed him to. That's James Daniels.
Yeah.
You've only really made moves on the defensive side of the ball. Or am I supposed to believe Equinemius St. Brown and Byron Pringle are these 2 guys that are going to help elevate Justin Fields? No, I'm not buying that for a second. So to me, it feels like Justin Fields is being jeopardized here. Like his development is in jeopardy because we're not really doing anything to back him up. The O-line was bad and now it's just worse. So
yeah, you're really relying on guys to like maybe take that next step up, because we didn't really see a lot of Tevin Jenkins last year. Thought Larry Borum was fine.
And apparently in Hallis Hall, the opinion is not very high of him from Ryan Poles or Eberflus.
Oh, really?
They're not convinced on him, which kind of disappoints me. He had an okay year, a good year for a 5th round rookie, I would say.
Yeah.
But all in all, an okay year. But are we really going to roll him out as our starting right tackle? Tevin Jenkins probably at left tackle, who back problems, had to get surgery. I mean, what is he going to look like now when he's fully healthy? Is he going to be your franchise left tackle, or is he just another revolving door? So you don't have a center. Sam Mustipher's not your center when you move Cody Whitehair back, but now you have at least one guard position unaccounted for. So I'm not sold on what Ryan Poles is doing, especially from an former O-lineman who said his goal is to build through the offensive line, and we're not doing that. So unless he's got some big draft plans in play.
It's not like you have a 1st rounder. You're really relying on day 2 picks. Like I know you got now a second rounder, but
yeah, and you still need wide receivers. So there's a lot. Yes, next year the cap space is going to be massive, but what does that do for you if Justin Fields takes a step back because he doesn't get a chance to truly develop for a second year?
Yeah, I mean, you'd much rather not be rolling into year 3 on his rookie deal, still asking, is this the guy?
Right. Well, he still needs to develop. If you're saying that going into year 3, you got a problem.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, because even got like a guy who like Josh Allen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who had this like, okay, rookie year. Okay, that's promising. He was slightly better his second year. And it was like encouraging enough, And he takes this massive jump, but a lot of it was the talent around him, putting in those weapons like Stephon Diggs. Yeah. Like making those moves. So yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. That sucks.
Yeah. I'm expecting a long season for the Bears. That's just the optics of it on the surface level. Like I said, maybe there's some big draft plans they're trying to put in play. We still have the 2nd and 3rd waves of free agency. Maybe you get a steal in there, but it's frustrating, man, because I don't see the direction. I don't see it coming from Ryan Poles right now. Yeah. I was excited about the I don't like his name. Eberflus is it's a mouthful, but I was excited about the Eberflus sign.
Yeah, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what Justin Fields needed.
I agree. I don't know if that's sarcastic, but I actually
it is.
Okay, I actually like the defensive mindset.
I like it too, but it's like I felt like it really for me it depended I thought bringing in an offensive-minded guy, and that way you're getting the most from Justin Fields. At least maybe you could get to the quickest answer. Is he our guy? Is he not our guy? And then I like Eberflus. I'm a big fan. And I was like, okay, who's he going to bring in, to basically do this offensively,
Right.
So I don't know. I feel bad for Justin Fields. I'll just say that. I feel bad for Fields.
We can honestly find ourselves with a second Trubisky situation.
He's not that bad. He's not bad.
No, but my point is, like, you can waste development on a guy with the wrong decision. That was an extreme. Okay, I'll backtrack. That may have been an extreme. But my point is that if you keep wasting years of a young guy's development, are we expecting the Bears to be competitive by the end of his rookie deal? That's not the track to success. You want to try and capitalize on the cheap quarterback contract before you have to pay out for someone.
Yeah. Well, that might not be the case next year.
No, they're not going to be good next year. I don't expect good things.
Yeah, especially because we were believers in Pace. Like, honestly, like, Pace put together a good team, and like Nagy failed to execute. So we didn't even really want to see him get fired. And then Poles is you're just scratching your head.
Yeah, as a Dolphins fan, been there, done that. So
yeah, I mean, you know just as well as we do. So you got your own things going on with Miami.
I was gonna say I wasn't positive who the OC was for the Bears.
Nathaniel Hackett, or no,
Luke Getsy.
Luke Getsy,
the Denver coach. It's a hell of a pull.
Yeah, no, my bad. Yeah, Luke Getsy. He was their passing.
Yeah, he was the passing coordinator.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be promising. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. He coached Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers didn't really work outside of Devontae Adams, I guess. But
yeah, but it's just like how difficult is your job as a coach when Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback you're coaching?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the same thing with Byron Leftwich in Tampa Bay. You have Brady. You're really supposed to be like, you made Tom Brady a good quarterback with your system. I'm not buying that. But hey, maybe Equinemius St. Brown, those two get to reunite.
And
it's been an underwhelming
rough. I mean, you got Mooney, but still, man, you would
someone big.
You would think, yeah. I mean, there are going to be some names there in the second round. Like George Pickens, Christian Watson. Could be enticing, but still, it's like, how much you want to really like put that on a rookie?
Right. I know. I mean, because now this past class, I think, like, raised the bar to such a crazy level for rookie wide receivers with Jalen Waddle and
two, man.
Yeah, honestly, Justin Jefferson 2 years ago. It's just you can't expect that every year from rookie wide receivers. Maybe you get it every year, but it's not wise to expect that. And if you're hoping a date or a second round prospect is kind of going to have that impact, it could happen, but don't hold your breath on it. That's not a recipe for success.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, these guys are still rookies, so it's like all these guys that get drafted, less than half of them are going to make it to their rookie contract, through their rookie contract.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what it is. But, you're a big mock draft guy.
That is I.
Yes. So I'm sure you've been diving deep on your research. You got the 7-round draft that you're working on and everything. Is there like one prospect that kind of stands out to you as kind of like he's the guy you've fallen in love with, whether it's a big name guy or like a lesser known guy that you were just like, this is someone that I think is going to find some serious success at the next level?
Well, that's a question.
I know.
That is a loaded question. I don't want to go with too much of the obvious answer, because I mean, it's like Aiden Hutchinson. I guess, okay, out of the wheelhouse of the first round, I would say I really like Abraham Lucas, the Washington State tackle. Like, he's probably going to go in that second, maybe midday 2 area. but he's a guy formerly from like Mike Leach's like air raid offense. So like no real NFL concepts to his name, but he was constantly put in one-on-one pass protecting situations. And like he has easily the most true pass sets of any guy in this class. And he's always fared out pretty well. And I always thought this guy was going to be more of a, I guess you would say a high floor, low ceiling type of prospect, but he came into the Senior Bowl. He was the best. I would say he was the best offensive lineman there. Like no one came close in terms of his win rate. Like no one was winning more. And he looked comfortable during the game doing NFL like running concepts, which was something literally completely native to him. Even this past season under I forgot who the coach was because he ended up getting fired, but they were running more of like a run and shoot. So even still, like no true running NFL rushing concepts. I was really impressed at the Senior Bowl with that. And he tested out exceptionally well at the combine. I think he could come in, be a day one starter. The ceiling maybe not be as high as your like Charles Cross, Evan Neal, Ken McWandu, but I think this guy could be a solid starter for years to come. I would say he's probably one of my favorite guys in this class. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I like the breakdown. I appreciate that you didn't throw out, the big names, the easy ones, right?
Yeah, so. I know. It's so weird because like I'm a sucker for Drake London too. It's just, but in general, he's like, I love after the catch receivers. Like, that's why I loved Waddle. That's why I like Garrett Wilson. That's why I like Sky Moore. Like guys like that just are, man, something about a forced missed tackle.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying on that one. I mean, the yards after the catch, that's the big picture, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's just my type, when it comes to receivers. Like I'm not really a contested catch guy, which I mean, Drake London's kind of a contested catch guy, but he's also a guy that can, get it done after the catch.
What can you do after the ball's in your hands? That's a huge part of the position. I like the guys who go up and win the 50-50 balls. Your goal line threats, your red zone threats, but the NFL is moving in a way where you need guys who can produce after catching the ball. So, Darnell Mooney, hoping he continues to grow. Drake London is the guy I'm in love with as wide receivers go. Just huge body, just big talent. I'm a big fan of Drake London.
Yeah, he led the college football in contested catches too. It was 19 of 28. And that was only in 8 games because he broke his leg or broke his ankle.
Yeah. So maybe that injury he falls.
Maybe. I don't know if he says he's gonna perform at his pro day because I mean that's the big thing that people don't like. Like he can't separate. He doesn't have speed. He's not gonna test at like a 4.39. Like it's like you don't need that necessarily to win at receiver. You could be a 4.6 guy. Like my guy last year was Rashad Bateman. I absolutely loved Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, I was a fan of his.
Yeah, and not to say that he's not a similar prospect to Drake London. Like he was a guy that could separate just by like how he moves, not necessarily how fast he moves.
Exactly, yeah.
But you don't necessarily need that speed to win and get separation. Like I think Drake London's a smooth athlete. He's a former basketball player. He's a guy that can really run any route, and he's got such a huge catch radius. It's going to be like throwing to a garage door. So. Yeah, no, I think it's easy to like someone like Drake London.
And he's the youngest receiver, right?
Yeah, he's not even 21 yet. I don't think he'll be even 21 by the time the season rolls around.
Like another Juju in that regard.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
age. Speaking strictly about age.
Yeah, I haven't checked out Drake London's TikTok recently, but
let's hope he's not dancing on anyone's logos,
Oh my gosh!
Watch out for Von Bell.
Don't get me started on that one, Bob.
Now is there like anyone in this draft class that has been getting like a lot of hype that you just like don't like think should get any of this hype?
buying in.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll stay away from Kenny Pickett.
That's Bobby's guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like him, but also we did our hot takes, and I put no QBs get taken in the top 10, like at the beginning of college football last year.
Oh, see, that makes sense. So, like I like Pickett. I just don't see him. Like, he doesn't have that ceiling, in the NFL. Guy that I really dislike. I don't want to say dislike, but like I'm a bit down on. Yeah, overhyped. And do I really want to say that? I don't want to say that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say it. Okay.
Yeah,
and I think
podcast.
Yeah, I think Andrew Booth a little bit, the corner from Clemson. Like, some people probably can, like, if you looked like maybe a few months ago, people were talking, oh, he could be quarterback one or corner one. And I'm like, really? And I get, like, he ended the year hot, like, I think the last like 3 or 4 games, he was like, had a completion rate of like 40% had like 3 picks. So like he ended the year real hot, but this year was his like real true taste of being a full-time starter. Cause he was kind of like in 2020, he was like, he was a guy that would like, he would start one game, then kind of like get a few snaps the other. Like, he didn't have like a full big sample size like he did this year. And this year, like early on this year, like physical receivers had their way with this guy. Like, I remember the NC State game, man, he was just getting bodied by, it's like something Amezi. Can't remember his name. I know it's something I would probably mess up, but this is one of the bigger bodied receivers and just bodying this poor guy. Like, I was like, Andrew Booth, man. Oh, geez, look at it.
Have some dignity, man.
Yeah, and I get that he ended the year hot. People were gonna love like the traits that, like, he's a guy that he's really good at mirroring corners, or mirroring receivers. Kind of question his launch speed a little bit, but a guy that's able to stay in the hip pocket of receivers, like, you're gonna like that. A guy that's very much like Jalen Johnson, very calculated when it comes to how he attacks the football. It could be a bit risky, but typically, the reward's greater than the risk. That's kind of the player like Johnson was at Utah. That's something I really loved about him. But like, I think like with Booth, it's just like he's had multiple injuries this past off season. Couldn't participate in the combine, couldn't participate in his pro day. So it was like all that hype that was coming at the end of the year is, you would think would die off, but he's still getting like this late first round buzz. And like, especially against a head of a guy like I'm pretty high on, is Kyer Elam from Florida.
Okay.
And like, I still think Booth is probably like maybe like the 5th or 6th best corner in this class. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think when it comes to the NFL, like, you're going to need that physicality a lot more.
Yeah.
You're facing
their ability to press, everything like that. It's amped up quite a bit once you're
different
going up against number 3s. I mean, you're getting more physicality. So I see what you're saying there. Also, appreciate the Jalen Johnson name drop.
Thought you might like that.
Johnson. I have him on my hot take that he will be a top 5 corner. Can't say that happened, but big fan of him. Speaking of corners, I would say the guy that always got all the buzz was Derek Stingley Jr. I feel like there's been tons of fluctuation with his draft stock, so I was curious to hear from you. Where do you value him? Where do you measure him out at in this cornerback class and just prospects in general?
Yeah, I think currently I got him as cornerback 2 behind Sauce. Just because, like, Sauce, you have 3 full years of just shut down play. And with Stingley, you had the very promising like freshman year where it was like, it wasn't like he was shut down, but like, he was getting after it. You saw the ball skills and it was like, oh, this is like a sign of things to come. And they just never came. Like, he's got like the elite athleticism, at least we assume he does. We won't see till his pro day, but he's got elite cornerback traits. And I like at LSU, man, he was kind constantly impress, just how he like holds guys at the line, just and even like people be like, oh, he didn't perform that well in the last 2 years. And I was kind of talking about this in a video that's actually coming out tomorrow, but that his 2020 wasn't nearly as bad as people make it out to be. It's really just they look at, oh, look, Devontae Smith during his Heisman season had a good game against Stingley. And it came down to one play where he let up the touchdown. Outside of that, he did a fine job against Smith the whole game. The Florida game, benefit of the doubt. Kyle Pitts is a mismatch nightmare for any corner. I don't know what to tell you.
Just freak of nature there.
Yeah, but like outside of that, he had a pretty like steady season outside of like the leg injury, and obviously the leg. There's the concerns there with him having the injury again this year. But
durability comes into question there.
Yeah, I really feel like when it comes to if your questions about Stingley are purely from a durability, will he medically check out like standpoint, I think you're justified. When it comes to a play standpoint, I feel like that's where you kind of lose me, because like people be like, well, look at UCLA. Look at how he played against Kyle Phillips. Like, and if you actually look at the specific freaking scenario that they're pulling up, Stingley's playing off coverage in the slot. And I will say this, zone, he has no feel for zone, This is a guy that like
physicality. He's a physical.
Yeah, and he wasn't really asked to play a lot of that his freshman year. Oh man, it's just it's something he's gonna need to learn. I guess really depending on where he goes. What he is, he's a press man guy you could put on an island. Mm-hmm. So he was playing off coverage in the slot, and he basically passed Phillips off too early on a drag, got dumped off. He goes flying after him. He misses the tackle, which that's another. I don't really care if my corners can tackle. I'm asking them to cover. If your gripe is, oh, he's not a good tackler, I was like, it's a passing league. Why do I care? Like,
go make them coming in stuff in the run game.
Yeah. I mean, that's nice and all, but I mean, I kind of hope that it won't come to that.
Right.
Yeah, but
the secondary tackling has been suspect over the years. I feel like it's been getting worse, but it's not my biggest priority when it comes to those positions.
Yeah, exactly. And again, how do they cover? And I don't know, man. I kind of get lost when people are like, oh, he hasn't played that well. And they kind of like pull these, like, I feel like you're kind of like nitpicking a prospect who otherwise is very good, who's been pretty reliable in at least comparison to some of these other prospects. But I mean, again, that's what you should do. I think anyone saying he's outside the top 10, I think it's kind of lunacy, but man, everyone's allowed to have their take.
Everyone's got their take. I've been high on Derek Stingley. I feel like a lot of people have, but he's gotten the criticism. I wanted to hear from you, kind of that stuff. So I appreciate your take on that. Bobby, I know you wanted to talk quarterbacks more specifically.
Yes.
We've been jumping around on you. I apologize, but Bobby's been hyped to talk quarterbacks. So
Western Kentucky, Bailey Zappi. I
thought it was going to be a Kenny Pickett question. I was like, thank goodness.
No, we'll move out of it. But like, I feel like he's had like an outstanding year, and like he's very low on everyone's board. Like, why do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, you go look at his arm, like it's like an average arm, he doesn't throw with a ton of zip. You kind of saw that at the Senior Bowl, where it was like you could kind of tell like the guys who have that high caliber arm talent, like Ritter, like Strong, like Willis and Howell, that like they throw with a lot of zip. I mean, with Bailey Zappi, he was there was like some passes where it looked like he was literally skidding a rock off water. They were kind of like bounce passes. Yeah. And it's like, not to say it's like it's not to say you have to have an elite arm or anything, but I mean, you look at a guy with that caliber arm against that caliber of competition, level of competition, where he was coming from Houston Baptist, went to Western Kentucky, lit it up, by the way. And you may think he might be a potential like high end backup, Yeah. So like, I feel like, I mean, if you're thinking him like third round, I mean, I guess that's all right, but I don't know. I feel like I'm still looking for starters by then. I'd rather take that guy in the fourth to kind of be a high end backup. But I like Zappy. I think he's a guy that can get the ball there. You need him to. I will say, this is a guy, he likes to make the big play, man. He like loves it. He'll like look over check downs or maybe get in the first down on his feet if he could make the big play. And he was kind of afforded that, at Western Kentucky, but you kind of saw that turn to an interception in the Senior Bowl game. So it's like
Carson Wentz mentality. I mean, that's how I see it.
Except for with Wentz, he feels pressure when there's no pressure to be had. I would say Zappy at least has better pocket presence than that.
True. Yeah, fair enough. I'll give you that one. But
I like Zappy. Zappy's pretty good, especially like if you look at the quarterbacks after him, you're probably not touching a guy till like the 7th round, really. So,
yeah.
Because what, Jake Fromm didn't go till the
6th?
Oh, Jake Fromm.
I had high hopes for him.
I did too. I thought he was all right, man.
Yeah.
I was surprised that he fell real hard.
Yeah.
Hey, the measurables just, they don't jump out to you there, Couldn't even, him and Mike Glennon.
Oh, man. The most notable thing he did was knee that football.
Oh, my gosh, dude. I can't believe y'all, like, that was probably one of the woofs signings I've, like, ever witnessed. Mike Glennon to the Bears.
Never had an issue with it, though. All right. I have a whole breakdown of it if you want to hear it, but the Mike Glennon signing doesn't actually bother me. Look it. You were a bad team. You didn't have a quarterback. It's not like the money you don't spend in free agency rolls over on top of your salary for the following year. So why not? You have the money. Why not take a shot on someone who could potentially be good? Obviously, it didn't work out that way, but it was basically a 1-year deal. Didn't really hurt your salary all that much. No, the Bears weren't bringing in big time free agents at that point in their rebuild. That's fair. So it's like, what did you lose other than 1 year's salary? As a fan, I don't pay for that salary. So you took a shot on someone.
Best case scenario.
Oh well.
If he doesn't work, then hey, maybe you're in position to draft a quarterback. If he does, then cool. Then we got a guy.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. It's low risk, high reward. His contract was pretty cheap. Everyone gets caught up on the $45 million number, but it was 14.5. All right. It was a 1-year deal, basically. So you had the money to spend. Why not take a shot? Best case scenario, he turns into this like franchise quarterback. Worst case, exactly what happened. So, obviously you didn't want the worst case, but it is what it is.
Oh man.
It is what it is, man. You could tell my like coping mechanisms as a Bears fan. Mike Glennon, man.
Hey man, a Dolphins fan, like I'm used to this. Like someone tells me my team sucks, you think you could hurt me more than they have hurt me?
Yeah, see, the delusion. See, as a Bears fan, I convince myself every year that they're better than they actually are. I see the schedule, I'm like, that's like at least an 8-win season, easily. Struggles for 6.
I remember I did my season predictions, and I had the Dolphins with, I think I had them 9-8 since they had now they have the extra game. And people were like, we were just a 10-win team last year. Like, I thought us Dolphins fans were past this, expecting better for our team. Like, look at us. Look what happened this year. It was like, exactly. Look at y'all getting your hopes up. It's like you forgot who we were.
They were 9-8, right?
I don't know if I got that right. Did I?
I think you got that right. Because they were like 0-7. And then
I know they went on a mean win streak, but it was against a lot of bad teams.
The Patriots were one of them, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That was their most notable.
I mean, the Patriots, we only beat them at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
We beat them at Mac Jones' first start. So
that's a fair point. You get that one.
Holy crap, we were 9-8, yo.
Yeah, hey, you're right.
Hey, look at you.
Hey, I will say though, I did have the Bengals finishing last in their division.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, I mean, no one saw that coming.
Yeah, I mean, we should have pulled up our preseason rankings. I could try and find them, but I know I had the Bears.
I got a whole video catalog, so
yeah, I had the Bears. Ooh, I think I had them at 10-7.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
he had high expectations this year.
I did have high expectations.
Yeah, they're kind of like the Raiders of the NFC, huh? Just mediocre.
Disappointment.
Just a ship stranded at sea. No
Always
wins.
finding a way to disappoint Bears fans.
Yeah. Then we had the double doink. It's just very bad for us.
Hey, man, at least I'll be in the playoffs. I mean, I guess, Dolphins really haven't had a real playoff run, or like we had a game with not even Tannehill. It was the year Tannehill led us, but he was hurt. We had
ACL. It was Matt Moore.
That's right, Mr. Oregon State. Yeah, and then I think before that it was Chad Pennington in that Wildcat offense.
Oh wow, that's a throwback.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
why you don't expect to be winning as a Dolphins fan.
Hey, we've been through the quarterback carousel here as well. You know,
I don't know if we're still on it or off it, man.
Honestly, it's still in question. No, I think Fields is the guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, I'd feel better with Fields than I would with Tua. You know, I try to be encouraged with Tua, but I also try to tamper expectations.
Yeah,
like with Fields, that guy's got a freaking unbelievable arm.
Yeah, he's got the athleticism to match.
Golly, yeah, he does.
Tua's never had the arm. I don't think he's going to have the arm.
Nah, but I mean, a lot of his was like upstairs. Always kind of like making the right throws.
Right.
But I mean, he also has the injury woes of the past. Like he had that real serious injury at the end of his career.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Never had it happen to me, so I don't know what the recovery from that is. But
yeah, well, I mean, I don't think it was because it was similar to what Bo Jackson had that ended his career.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a degenerative thing, but apparently, it wasn't necessarily that bad. At least how they treated it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure
hip,
having
right?
it was his hip.
Yeah, like the hip joint.
Yeah.
But hopefully now that he has a coaching staff that's going to be behind him and believe in him.
Promise offensive line with Armstead.
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
that's huge, man.
I mean, that's one guy.
It's one, but it's a huge upgrade. I
would take 5 average starters over Armstead if I could.
Fair. That's a fair
point. Yeah.
But you got Teron Armstead, so hey, it's still a win, right? You got to be happy with that result.
If he could stay on the field.
Yeah, fair, injuries. Gotta love it. Great equalizer, right? What are your thoughts on the Brian Flores situation? Like everything were you shocked when he was fired? Did you?
Yeah, because I thought he was doing a hell of a job, and he seems like a player's coach. I mean, obviously, there's with him and Greer, they just didn't agree on their quarterback. I know Greer really wanted Tua to start right away, and
obviously Flores.
Yeah, Flores wanted to stick with Fitzmagic at the time, and I mean, we were winning. And just, I mean, to bench a guy while he's winning, it just makes no sense. It would be this big, it would deflate the locker room, which it did.
Yeah, because they made the switch, and Dolphins kind of struggled for a few games. It wasn't until the Fitzmagic Raiders game, which I lost my fantasy football championship on. But
I actually had a pretty banger year that year. This year I really sucked on fantasy.
I had a terrible year this year.
I moved to a 2-quarterback league, and I really struggled.
Oh, those are rough, man.
It was my first time too.
Oh, the first year's a learning year, right?
I broke that chair pretty hard.
And every year in mine, it's like quarterbacks are gone like that, and it's like by the time you get one, you're getting 2 terrible starters.
Yeah. Because we also did, because it's a league we've been doing for a couple of years, and we were allowing keepers, and I was like, oh, I'll just keep Kelsey, man. He always ends up being like wide receiver 3 at the tight end position, or the top 10 wide receiver. Not thinking, like, oh, I really need to attack the quarterback position really, really quickly. And I ended up getting stuck with like, I had Lamar, who was great at the beginning of the year. Then, I had I think Big Ben was my other guy. I ended up training for Carson Wentz, who started out hot and then started just no showing games. Like they were just, hey, Carson, we only need you to pass the ball 14 times today. It was a nightmare.
Those 2 quarterback leagues are rough.
I literally traded away half my team. I ended up trading away guys like Kelsey, Lamar. I had Mike Williams early in the league, and I was like, I think he's going to kind of fall off, which I was pretty right about that because I heard something was up with his knee. So, but I ended up getting really nothing for it. I ended up, I think, like not close to the playoffs. It was great.
I was, what was I, Bobby? 3 wins this year?
Yeah.
3 wins. Can I ask your opinion on something? When you're setting the draft order.
Oh, all right. Come on, man. We're gonna bring this up
for your fantasy draft, and let's say hypothetically your name gets drawn for the first overall pick. We get like 7 picks into the round, find out that someone, cough Bobby, put someone's name in there twice.
Yeah, I messed up.
Now we have to redraw the entire thing, and you end up with the last pick in the draft. Do you have a right to be upset about that? Should I have kept my first overall pick? It happened to me.
I mean, yeah, I would have felt like
collusion.
Yeah, just keep it. Just throw the name at that point, just like the second time around.
Yeah.
Hey,
I offered to switch with you. I was number 2. I told him I'll take the number 12.
No. I didn't want the pity switch. All right. I wasn't taking the pity switch.
You would have had number 2. Anyway, I drafted Derrick Henry and he got injured. So it wasn't even that big of a deal, yeah.
Oh man, my buddy in my league, he always ends up having Derrick Henry like as his keeper. And he has like the best fantasy name. It's Miso Henry.
That's a good one.
Literally, I started using it in other leagues I joined because I'm like, that's just such a top tier name.
That's a good one. Bobby, how about yours?
Yeah, I always draft Jared Goff because I don't know. I always like Jared Goff, so I always go beating Goff. Just like face out.
Yeah, that was Bobby's pride and joy of a name right there. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you think I should have kept my first overall pick. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sure that helps now.
I was so salty. And then the guy before me auto drafts.
We do my draft in person. Everyone shows up to avoid that.
Yeah,
we still do it online, but we make sure, we make a big party of it.
Yeah, I had my whole plan. I was going to go Kelsey and Kittle back to back, just lock down the top tight ends. Was I going to win anything with that? Probably not. But you know what? At least I would have had the top tight ends in the league. But
I mean, it's not a bad thought, though.
No, I thought it was a brilliant plan. And then the guy before me auto drafts and he takes Kelsey. And I was like, dude, what the heck? Couldn't catch a break. Fantasy, it was not my year, man. I fall from grace in the championship the year before. Josh,
you're telling me
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say I won the championship last year, too, for mine. Or not this past year, but the year before.
No, I lost because John Gruden in that Dolphins game had Josh Jacobs fall down instead of go into the end zone. I lost by 4 points. I was like, are you kidding? I couldn't believe it. And then they lose the game, so it didn't even work for them. Stupid, man. I'm glad Gruden's fired. Get him out of there.
I got so lucky this year. I won the championships all because of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those last couple weeks, man.
Banger pickup. Gosh, I see my team didn't suck enough to be able to get the high end pickups.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I started thinking, I was like, Yeah, maybe we're gonna do like an auction now for the waiver wire instead.
No, that's not a bad idea. That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah,
Just spend your money.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Because like this year, I always ended up like fifth on the waiver wire. And it's like, what am I gonna do to my team? Like dramatically. Like I really needed a saving grace. Like I was in a bad spot.
I was living at the top of the waiver wire this year. Still couldn't catch a break. It was not my year in fantasy, man. You know, it happens. That's the way it goes sometimes. I don't think I finished in last place though. So
I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with Flores, like I don't know, it's such a weird situation.
We really got off track.
Yeah, I don't know. I really feel like if anything, he probably screwed the Dolphins the most on the way out with the hey, they were trying to pay me to tank. It's like, oh great, thanks. We're probably losing picks now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hey,
it's not true.
That's kind of slimy, but yeah.
Do you believe it though? Like, do you think it was actually a thing?
Absolutely, dude. I think Greer and Ross are some shady folks, man.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it. I believe that they wanted to go into the before the tampering period and try to court Tom Brady. I totally buy that too. Oh man.
Hey, I mean, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, right?
You know. I mean,
right?
he ended up moving to Florida anyway. So
it's not the right area.
Yeah.
But so your team Flores. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I
mean, to some, when it comes to the Miami stuff, I am. The other stuff, I think, at least with Elway, like he has contradicting statements when it comes to that. Like, I think they pulled it from like a year, like I don't know, something he did that talked about that same interview where he talked about it as very good, very welcoming. So it's like, okay, which statement are you going to take? Which is necessarily the truth? Because I also get the whole, I'm just going to be nice. It may have sucked as like as a situation, but I'm not going to put out bad press. So I do understand that. But again, it's like what can you believe in that? It's he say, she say. It's like,
right. It's that when you get into those kind of games, it's like, what can you take away from anything really?
Yeah. So, but yeah, with the Dolphin stuff though, it's like, yeah, no, we, yeah, yeah, Flores, you're right.
Like, come on, man. Just we're already down. You don't gotta stomp on us now.
I mean, I don't blame him. I would.
So if things went down the way they did, absolutely take your shots on your way out for sure.
Yeah,
I did think it was funny though with Hugh Jackson when he tried to piggyback off the Haslams paid me to tank too. I was like, shut up, dude.
Oh, and then you saw about his donation, his what was it? His he has like a what do they
foundation?
Yeah. Like that what he pays money into it, but it goes to like some of essentially he's just embezzling money, like he's claiming it to be taxable. Like it goes to some of his representatives. So eventually he's getting tax credits, tax write-offs on money that's just going back to himself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you look at politicians, they do the same crap with like the stock market, Yeah, so it's like slippery slope, man. And it gets down to us little people. It's like we're not allowed to do anything.
Right. Honestly. Wish I could pull that kind of stuff off. But
I wish I had in-market trading or inside info.
Yeah, right. But hey, that's the way. That's it. Shouldn't be the way it goes. But
as Jim Carrey once said, that's how the cookie crumbles.
Exactly. That's how the cookie crumbles. So we're a hot take episode. We do want to get, before everything wraps up here, we wanted to get a hot take from you, like your hottest take regarding something. Let's go related to the draft.
Hottest take. Ooh.
Yes.
Well, shoot, if it's going to be a hot take, I might as well go balls to the wall. Will it? I don't even know if it'll be a hot take. I'm really trying to think of something that might be a hot take.
It's tough. Hey, we're a hot take podcast. We've kind of gotten used to it, but
hey, we'll add it to our board.
I should. I know. I should have came more prepared.
I know. I'm hitting you with some loaded questions, so I do apologize for putting
it's fine. It's okay. Ooh, hot take. I want it to be good if it's gonna be a hot take.
I can share one of mine for some context.
Yes, give me ideas.
Yes, I don't know your opinions of Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's a bust.
That is a hot take.
I think
That's a really hot take.
That's just my take. It's a hot one. I can dive into details on it, but I'm not buying it from him. I thought once he faced Georgia, he was exposed.
Oh,
take from that what you will. That's the point of a hot take. Though.
That is the point of
a hot take. It's supposed to ruffle feathers, so I'm ruffling plenty of feathers.
Oh man. Okay, hot take. Okay. Let's do this. I don't even know if I believe it. Okay. I don't think I do. Kenny Pickett will be the first quarterback off the board.
All right. Hey,
not to the Panthers, though.
After all the Malik Willis talk, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they've been talking about him at the Panthers pick. Okay. No one's talking about that Detroit number 2.
Going number 2 overall?
Let's go with that. Do I believe it? No shot.
But that's a hot take right there.
That's a hot take. I mean, right now, the betting favorites at for Detroit is Malik Willis and Kyle Hamilton, and both of them, Malik Willis and Pickett, had their pro days today, and everywhere you'll never hear a bad thing about how he interviews or the type of person he is. And you know what Dan Campbell loves? People.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Kenny Pickett, number 2.
So you think they're done with Goff?
I think everyone thinks that, but yeah. I don't know, man. I still think they go Kyle Hamilton, but if I'm gonna go with a hot take,
take.
Hey, I like that hot take.
It's
a little.
It's up there with
spicy.
My Aiden Hutchinson take, I'd say.
Oh, about.
I think it is.
I mean, he's the consensus of number 1 overall pick. So,
I know.
Gosh, I wish I had something better for you guys, man.
No.
Hey, that was a good hot take.
No, like I said, I put you on the spot with that one. Yeah. I love the hot takes.
Oh, you know what? I got a better one than that.
Okay.
The Packers won't take a receiver in round 1, even with 2 picks.
Ooh.
Screw Aaron Rodgers, apparently.
They're going to go deep with both of them.
I love that hot take.
That's a good one.
I actually hope that one happens because
that one feels more like reality, right?
I think that's actually a likely scenario. It's par for the course with Green Bay.
Look back at 2020. Aaron, we're going to get you a ton of help. We're going to take Jordan Love, your heir apparent. We're going to get a running back, probably maybe a backup. Oh, and we'll get this guy at tight end that we'll never use.
Yep.
Classic. Thank you, Brian Gutekunst. Or however you say it. Hey, the more he fails to set them up for success after Aaron Rodgers, the happier I am. Let them address edge rusher. Come on, let's go get a replacement for Zadarius Smith and a linebacker, and let Aaron have no one to throw to.
Then they're going to go 2 cornerbacks.
Oh gosh, yeah, just keep at it after. I mean, they only have Alexander. They took a first last year, and then they brought back Rasul Douglas, dude. I thought he was great, dude.
Yeah, he had a good year last year.
So yeah, let's add 2 more cornerbacks.
Address positions that don't need to be addressed. That's the strategy. That's what I want to see. As a Bears fan, I want to see them do that. So I like that hot take. And I think that's actually a very possible one.
I know.
More possible than my Aiden Hutchinson.
And I believe that way more than Kenny Pickett too, dude.
Yes, I believe that a lot more too.
Like even that coming out of my mouth, I was just like, oh.
You're gonna have to go wash your mouth out after saying it.
Oh.
I will admit the Aiden Hutchinson bias. I am so anti-Michigan, so I have to be that way a little bit. But
yeah, I get it, dude. I think Tom Brady is the Antichrist, man. That's how I live.
See, exactly.
Hey, he might be the best quarterback of all time. Still a terrible person.
He makes out with his son.
Hey, dude, if I could find a woman that loves me like Tom Brady loves his children, or at least kisses me like he kisses his children. I mean, I have. I mean,
yeah. Let's make sure we get that in there.
I don't want her to see that and be like, "What do you mean?" Be like,
excuse me. You don't kiss me like Tom Brady kisses his son. Oh,
does it with tenderness and affection.
That feels creepy.
You just look at me like I'm a piece of meat. I have a brain too.
Yeah, right. I'm more than just these lips.
That's right. These nice, fuzzy, furry caterpillar lips.
Right. But obviously, I'm not rooting against Aiden Hutchinson. But that's just.
I don't know. It kind of sounds like you are.
Oh, he really is. He's been rooting up against him since he was in the Heisman voting.
You know, it's a shame. It seems like he's an upstanding kid.
Shame
you want his life to go that way.
No. I want all the guys to succeed, but I want to be right at the same time. So it's tough. I would consider like Jadeveon Clowney production from him to be like an underwhelming career path for him.
I mean, yeah, going first overall, yeah.
Yeah, that's so. When I say bust, I mean more so
in terms of first overall. That makes a ton of sense. I think he's going to be a good player, but yeah, first overall always comes with such lofty expectations.
Exactly. We're talking like your Von Miller level kind of stuff there. Aaron Donald,
Myles Garrett.
Yep. It's hard to live up to first overall, especially as an edge rusher when you're pretty much only graded by sack totals. So
I know, man. I hate when people come to me in the comments and be like, but this guy had this many sacks. Like they use that for Dante Fowler for the longest time. And I'm like, listen, this is a guy that just cleans up. If you look at his pressure rate, pressure totals, he is literally a late to the party, but life of the party guy.
Right. Like a guy who I think was the opposite of that was Leonard Floyd. I always thought Leonard Floyd was kind of under an unsung hero especially with the 2018 Bears. Yeah. I mean, he locks down the edge. You may not be getting the sacks, but you're not running outside of him. That's for sure. He's going to block it down. There's so many metrics that you can use to value edge rushers more than just sack totals. But I feel like for whatever reason, that position is only valued and graded by that stat.
I mean, they kind of do that with corner and interceptions. You know, they were like, Trayvon Diggs, dude, look at him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying Trayvon Diggs is terrible. I mean, he's literally the epitome of a high risk, high reward, you know, because he gave up, I think, like at least close to the most yards this year.
Yeah.
Any corner, but
you got a lot of picks.
You know, that's the thing. You know, there's two different styles of corner. Do you bait the quarterback into the throw and hope you make the play on the ball, or do you lock it down and see no action?
Yeah.
So it's the high risk, high reward, like you said. So, but I appreciate the hot take. If you want, we'll put it on the board. Just let us know. We'll throw it.
Hey, man, you should. I mean,
we'll throw it up.
I feel like that's right up your alley.
Yes, we will throw it on the board. And
it's better than wishing for the destruction of a youngster like Mr. Aiden Hutchinson.
Hey, don't let him fool you. He's been rooting for his downfall. All right.
You got like an Aiden Hutchinson like voodoo doll. Just
it all started. Listen, should have never been a Heisman finalist. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
I feel like you could say that about anyone. Like anyone that talks about defensive players in the MVP. I feel like it's the same thing.
It was a little different. What was the Alabama guy's name? Anderson.
Oh, Will Anderson. Oh, yeah.
Like that was my thing. He got picked over Will Anderson, and Will Anderson, by essentially every measure, had a better year. So
yeah,
and that's what started it with the Aiden Hutchinson.
And then Kenneth Walker, not getting in the voting.
He carried that Michigan team.
Oh yeah.
But hey. It is what. Oh yeah, Kenneth Walker, Michigan State. Don't get me started, man.
Yeah, he's a big Michigan State fan. He loves Kirk Cousins, Connor Cook.
Kirk Cousins more so, but
Yeah.
I believe in Captain Kirk. Get that 30.
Dude, it doesn't matter, man. He's raking in the dough, dude. He's set for life.
He's got blackmail content or something on that organization. But
all right. One last question. Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins. If you had to take a starting quarterback.
I'm not gonna lie, it comes down to price, and I like Derek Carr's price a lot better.
There we go. That was the correct answer.
I mean, hey, I do like me fourth quarter Kirk Cousins though.
Don't get me started, Bob. This is every week he comes after me for my Kirk Cousins opinions.
Yeah, he'll go into a rant.
And I'm not going to go on to a rant.
That is a tough question.
I'm growing. It's called growth, Bobby. But no, we wanted to appreciate you joining us for the show, man. Honestly, this was a blast. Like we said, we couldn't believe that you agreed to join and just kind of tune in with us, so we appreciate that. For all our audience and everything, like I said, give Broshmo a follow, subscribe to his YouTube. A lot of great content for you out there, especially, I'm going to mention the tier lists again because it breaks it down perfectly, because we do have some people that are getting into the sport. So, that's a great way to get into it and learn some more. So we thank you for joining us, man. Hopefully you had fun joining us for the show.
I had a heck of a time, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Let's go Bears. Let's go Dolphins. And
fins up, baby.
Fins up. Bear down.